Hi everyone, this is Anthea West from Dustbunny Studios. Today's video we are going to do just a fun drawing session. I'm going to work through a full illustration from start to finish, and I'm going to show you some of my prep work that I do before the illustration, and then kind of talk about how I think the end result of the illustration works at the very end of the video. I hope you enjoy that, so keep on watching. My goal for this illustration was to have something centered around my dust bunny creatures in a nice big detailed environment. So what I wanted to draw was dust bunnies in a bakery running amok. Basic idea in my head of what I wanted to draw, so I hopped onto the interwebs, Pinterest. Anyway, I went to that site. I looked up reference for bakeries. So not only was I looking for a view of a bakery, I was also looking for assets of a bakery. So little details like cookie jars, shelves, obviously breads and treats. Then I popped those onto a file in Photoshop, put them all together so I have all my references in one place that I can look over at as I'm drawing. I also picked out a piece that I knew would inspire me. The inspiration for this drawing is Kiki's Delivery Service. If you haven't seen the movie, I highly recommend it. I really love the scenes of her. There's scenes where she's in a bakery and has lovely warm soft colours, and it's just very cozy, and I really wanted something like that for my drawing. After I do that, I work on my thumbnails. If for this, I kind of already knew the angle and the layout that I wanted, so I was very quick to get pretty much what I wanted in my first thumbnail. But I do always recommend trying to do more than one thumbnail, just in case you end up getting some ideas in the other thumbnails that you may want to add to your main piece, or you want to mix and match, or you may end up coming up with something completely different that looks way better than just the base image you have in your head. Pretty much went up with my first idea, but there were some ideas in the first and second thumbnail that I drew that I quite liked. I'm working in Clip Studio Paint for this drawing, and then I enlarged the thumbnail, stuck it on, and that's pretty much, I'm using that as like my very base sketch. That was a trick that a friend in college taught me to do, and I find it really helps speed up the drawing process. Rather than having to like do a whole nother base sketch, I can just work off the thumbnail that I've enlarged, which is a fun thing that digital allows you to do over traditional, unfortunately. With that, I'm pretty much going straight into my sketching stage. So the thumbnail is pretty much established where I'm pretty much putting everything. So it's really just up to building up the forms, correcting a few things if I didn't quite fit in the thumbnail, adding things in. This is like my sketch stages tend to be very fiddly. Oh, this is me trying to figure out my perspective. I end up just kind of eyeing it in the end instead of going with a full proper perspective lines, because I don't know, I don't think my brain was really able to be that technical at that time, so I just eyed it, and I think in the end it was a fairly simple perspective anyway, so I was able to lay it out pretty easily on my own. Yeah, I do like a few stages of sketching, maybe because I'm just not as super confident with my drafting abilities or what have you, but I tend to think of myself more as like a carver or a chiseler, so I kind of just do 3 or 2 layers of sketching, and I just kind of sketch into it until I get all the shapes correct. Now I know a few people who can like do one single sketch and that's it, it's perfect, done, straight into inking. I can't do that, unfortunately. I think I get there in the end. I've had this like YouTube channel for like over 10 years, but it's only recently that I've actually been bothering to do more established videos with them, and I kind of forget that a lot of people here on YouTube may not know what the story behind my dust bunnies and stuff are. Anyone who like's been following me on like Twitter or DeviantArt or whatever for years would know what dust bunnies are, but like I've never actually really talked about them here on the YouTubes. Dust bunnies are my mascots. I've had them since secondary school, or high school for you Americans. I think I was like 15 or 16, so I think that was about 2005, 2006. To be honest, I was actually going through kind of a hard time mentally, and I wanted to just create something that was fun, positive and silly, and also like simple to keep my creative juices going, because usually when you're not in a good place mentally, it's much harder to be creative, and I was finding that at the time. So a lot of people will assume that the biggest inspiration for Dust Bunnies comes from, say, Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh or what have you, and like, they're not completely wrong. Yes, there's definitely a touch of inspiration from there, because I loved all those things at that age and as a kid and so on. But a lot of people don't know is that the biggest inspiration for Dust Bunnies and what I thought of Dust Bunnies as was from this book that my sister got years ago. It was one of those novelty books that you read once and then you leave in the bathroom for the rest of forever. It was called like the Bunny Suicides. So it was a joke book where it was like these cute bunnies and they're like building contraptions on every page to basically send themselves off to the next life hereafter. I don't know why, I wanted to make a concept kind of like that. Probably not as morbid. I wanted to do that sort of like books or tales of Dust Bunnies, Dust Bunnies just doing fun different things on each page. Like, they weren't really in like a single story or anything like that. Like, I did a lot of comic strips with Dust Bunnies while I was in secondary school, which I still have. I'll need to post those online at some point so you can see how terribly drawn they were. They were a lot different back in the day. Kind of more, they were cute, but they were doing like, air quotes, bold things. Like, they were smoking and drinking and all that sort of stuff, because I thought that was funny at the time. Over the years, I kind of grew them more into like kind of just more cute, more adventure kind of based things, because I do really want to stab them as like an all ages kids sort of media, because that's kind of just where my career itself has gone to at this stage. Kind of mainly it, really. I just needed something to draw at the time. Dust Bunnies became that thing that I needed, and I've loved the little guys ever since, and I've been drawing them for over 10 years now. I really like how they've grown and how their design has like changed and developed over the years. Currently working on a very side project of Dust Bunny comics for children. Maybe one year we'll see those. Bunny, the main character from my Fate webcomic, he's a Dust Bunny, and obviously he was kind of born out of the era where Dust Bunnies were doing like bold things while looking cute. Because when he was first made, he cursed like a sailor, and now he doesn't, because he's in an all ages book and he's not allowed to curse. Oh, and you see in the drawing here, I picked a very limited palette, because like I said, from the inspiration of like Kiki's Delivery Service, I wanted to go with very soft, warm colors. But I wanted that one color that really stuck out from the rest of the colors. So as you can see, they're mainly warm colors, kind of browny oranges and reds and pinks. And then I picked that kind of minty, light and dark green to really stand out and bring out some elements that I wanted people to see. Because there's a whole bunch of Dust Bunnies in this drawing. There are certain Dust Bunnies that are like strays that kind of walked in and are just messing up this bakery and stealing food. But then there are Dust Bunnies that are actually, they live there or work there or whatever, and they are established within the bakery. So the Dust Bunnies that are associated with the people who work in the bakery all have that green colour on them. So a cash register bunny there, he has the green hat, and then there's the two little green Dust Bunnies who are, I'm going to say, kind of obvious that they're kind of like pets. They're close to the two girls, and then there's the little sleepy Dust Bunny sleeping on the green cushion. So the green colour is to help associate them with the owners, while the pink bunnies have no green on them. So they're established as like the outsiders in this drawing, and they just kind of came in to eat some food and steal some bread. But it looks like the main baker doesn't mind at all. If I have a lot of warm colours in a drawing, I tend to shade with a cold colour, and then vice versa. I went to kind of a greeny bluey colour for the shading in this one, and then later I add in a kind of a light yellowish colour for the lighting, which I add in after my signature. I actually do that kind of often. I kind of get to a point where I'm finished, I put down my signature, and then I realize, oh no, there's still so much more of this drawing that I have to do. So I have to go back and put the lighting in. That's pretty much the finished drawing there, and I have to say, I I am really happy with the end result of this drawing. It pretty much touched all the goals that I wanted, which was a full illustration, dust bunnies running amok with lots of details and lots of fun things for the eyes to see. I'm really happy with the layout and the face. As you can see, everything kind of fits on a nice S curve. So your eyes follow down from the main baker to the girl, cash register bunny, the bunnies on the counter, and then down to the bunnies on the floor in a very natural, flowy sort of curve. And it allows you to actually get to see all the details in this drawing that I wanted you to see, and quite happy. I'm really happy with this drawing, and it was really fun to make as well. Tag yourself. I'm definitely a cash register bunny who's just really thinking, do they really need this job? Because any of us who've done retail at any point in their lives all have that same expression. So that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for sticking with it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you maybe learned a couple of things here and there. This is not the go-to, you have to do this if you want to do a full illustration. Kind of what I do, and if it helps you to draw your illustrations in the future, I'm more than happy to help. If you've drawn anything while you're watching this video, show me in the comments or link me or whatever, because I'd love to see them. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!